We're back.
Here we are.
We're back
again.
Podcast. So the No Name podcast that we have currently, the reason why we are here and wanting to get together was to be able to talk through all of our vulnerabilities in the stuff that we're sharing personally, in being pregnant, as well as owning a business. And so wanted to share that with one another of what we're going through, as well as share that with friends and people around, family, and try to create like a community of people that haven't, whether they've either been through it or not. I think that's that was our goal in this whole
or just don't have somebody to talk to about it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So really wanted to be able to create a community around becoming a mom, owning a business, or being in the workforce just in general, or not, or just being a mom in general, all of the changes, and wanting to create community so that we can all relate to one another and be able to have similarities and feel less alone in this journey.
Yeah.
So I think
perfect intro.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly it.
So in that, we still don't really have like a name for our podcast, but I think eventually we'll start figuring out what that could be.
Moms who work, who don't know what to call themselves.
Exactly.
That's what this
That's
is.
what we are for right now. But I think it'll take shape here hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But I think it's been fun nonetheless, like us just talking about this and then talking with other friends. I've had a good time, talking through things. So that's why we're here, and we hope that you want to follow us and want to be a part of it. Okay, cool. So should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's do it.
All right. So this week or last week was a pretty big week for you.
Oh yeah.
You went through moving companies. You moved to Canvas Credit Union.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How long were you at Spire?
Almost 6 years. Okay. So like 5 years, 7 months. So yeah. And I just kind of got to this spot. And I love Spire. They're amazing. I just needed a different shift in my business for multiple reasons, and just looking for different things to provide to clients. You know, everybody does their thing very well, and I just needed different for my type of client. So the hardest part was, hey, you're about to have a baby. Yeah. I should lean back. You can see my baby now.
I know. I'm leaning forward.
Right? 33 weeks. So I did it when I was like going on 32. And the hardest part was, you're about to have a baby. You either make a decision now and then give yourself 7-8 weeks to prep, go, or you wait. Who knows what happens? Yeah. So I don't know. It was very weird. Like I just had a gut feeling, like do it, and nothing could hold me back. Like nothing could make me not make the change. And I think that was just my intuition.
Which is huge. I think. Yeah. I mean, again, being somewhere for so long that has been so amazing for your business, it's a daunting experience to make that change, all the while, again, going through something super big that's about to happen. But when is the right time? There's
never going to be one. And it's funny because right now, you know, women get this weird pressure of like, hey, you're about to have a baby. You shouldn't be making big decisions. Mm-hmm. And it's like, my life does not slow down. No. You can't just stop. And I mean, there are people out there who have that luxury. I'll forever be jealous. So like, we'll get into that. But now is the time to make a decision because you're clear on like, here's what I have to do for my family. Yeah. It is what it is.
Which is huge. And how do you, I guess, like, one, how have your clients been receptive to it? I mean, I'm being one of them as one of your agents.
You were really receptive. No, people are just excited. Yeah. And here's the thing. People are excited for you. Like, people always, and you're the prime example, and you have to talk about this, but people will always work with you because of you. It's very rare that they're working with you because of your company. And when people ask you why, which I've had those really like in-depth conversations with people, and you tell them, then they support you. Totally. And really like all it comes down to, all you care about, all the client cares about, and all I should care about is our client getting the best possible deal for them.
Yeah.
Whether that deal is like the perfect service, lower interest rates, portfolio products, it doesn't matter what is best for the client. And when somebody believes they can give them that, that's all people care about.
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome. Again, with where you're at in pregnancy, obviously, like for me, I'm like, that's a daunting experience. Yeah. But from the flip side of it, thinking about it from a business perspective, I'm like, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that in 7 weeks. I wouldn't want to do that. You would feel stuck because we don't even know what your business is going to look like in 7 weeks, just in the sense of your own capabilities and your own, where you're at. And so you might not feel as motivated to do it. The product might be different. You might not even have that opportunity again, like as good as it might be.
You can't time stuff.
Totally.
It just, it happens.
So I think, I mean, I'm really impressed with you. I think it's like a huge deal, and
thanks.
It's awesome.
Thanks.
I can imagine it was stressful, but also for the best reason, like it's gonna be the best.
It's just like easy when you're pregnant to be more selfish because you're like, I just have to do this for my family. And I've always heard people say that, but now it's like so real. I'm doing it for my family.
Totally.
So it's really interesting. The one thing that made this very hard was having to limit my caffeine intake. Having to like do this on limited energy. But, then there's the flip side, pregnancy insomnia. You sleep like 4 hours a night. So then 2 a.m. you're working on your SEO. It's great.
Totally. No, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I think with the business side of things, because I've moved agencies, and what you said earlier about like your clients are going to follow you, and because of your service, because of the relationship that you've had, whatever is the best for them. And so I am, I'm now at the agency. I've been here for 2 years, and it was ultimately like the best move I could have made at the time. And now thinking about it in the sense of growing our family, it's like I have the most supportive team here, like with me. And the thought of doing this anywhere else, like prepping for a baby, talking about, okay, who's going to help handle things when I'm, not able to show homes or whatever that may look like in 5 months. That's the conversations that I'm having. And I'm like, this is so great. Like, thank you so much for everything that you're doing for me. You trust me, you value me. And that makes it so much easier for me to then like put my effort and time into my clients and my business, and to be able to like provide ultimate service to them. Yeah. Which is
right.
huge.
When you like believe in what you're providing, you're able to just like find that energy. And then too, I mean, when you really believe in it, it just shows. And people like get that from you.
Totally.
And there's just no defense, all offense.
Totally.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how Canvas will be for you. Like with baby, and just with this change in what business might look like. And I'm excited about that, because that's at least what I'm feeling right now of like, okay, it's going to be different. So how can I lean on my company? Again, every company is different, but how can I lean on my company? How can I lean on my colleagues? And how can I lean on the products that are available to me, so that I can then sustain this big change? Yeah. Which is huge.
100%.
Yeah.
So, perfectly said.
Cool. I'm so excited. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the next I wanted to talk about, and with moving companies, it's like, oh, what do they provide? Like all these things. But owning your own business is a little bit different. Let's talk about maternity leave, because you're coming up on it.
The daunting subject.
the topic we don't want to talk about. Right. But we all should. Let's talk about maternity leave, because I'm so curious to know what you guys are at least planning for yourselves.
Well, it's just like the crazy train of thought behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about what I've got right now for you.
I want to know what you're planning, what has been your like frustrations around it. I was just with a client last week who owns her own business as well, and just had a baby, gosh, I don't know, 6 to 9 weeks ago. So fresh.
She's like in the thick of it.
Yeah, totally. And so she was talking about, she owns her own business, and so she doesn't have maternity leave, and nor do we. And just kind of hearing how they're going through it and what that looks like and pros and cons, like just everything that has been there. So I'm like so curious to know what you guys are planning.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have to share.
Okay.
We'll compare our strategies. First off, I have to say my company has put zero pressure on it. They're not the ones putting this pressure in my mind.
Totally.
Nobody is. Not my sister, not Turner, nobody.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
I am the problem. So, I mean, the hardest thing when I think about maternity leave is, okay, we're commission only.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
We are, So we don't have a base salary. And so if we don't work, we don't get paid.
Yes.
Now, you have savings, etc., but babies are very expensive.
Yep.
And you have 529s, you have hospital bills, all the other stuff, our bougie registries.
Yeah.
Just joking, kind of. But I mean, it's just hard to see because like as a woman, when you have a baby, for me, I'm scared. I'm like, are people just not going to send me business? And I've had people that are like, do you want me to still send you business? I'm like, please. And here's the difference too. We don't have to be in the office 8 to 5. So we can work at home. So, if it's like a client call a day, manageable.
Totally.
And I have my sister, which is amazing. Yeah. She can help me. And an awesome team, Turner, obviously. But part of it too is like, how do you keep the business going so that you don't get set back?
So that is like the biggest thing. Like, I'm clients asking you like, do you want me to send? It's like, that is the best way to support my family. Yes. Like, honestly, like it's truly, yes, there's moments of time where I remember like during the first trimester, like I was in the rough of like couldn't move, couldn't go to meetings, couldn't do things, which was so hard. And like could feel the business, like it wasn't my priority because I couldn't actually do anything. And
definitely.
And now like being able to do things again and being like back in the rebuild, back in the intentional, what do I want my business to look like? It's like, actually, no, I really want, I would love to handle more business right now because that's the best way to actually support my family.
Yeah.
Because again, being 100% commission, which, I don't know if a lot of people know that that are outside of our world. Some do, some don't, but like we are. And it's a grind of if you don't sell a house, you do not get paid.
And then it just sets you back.
Totally.
Financially.
Because then again, we're fiscally responsible and like having your savings, having those things. And it's like, okay, well, how long can your savings last you? Do you really want to like jump into that? Do you really want to spend that, even though that's what it's there for? That's what your emergency fund is there for. But so like we can still handle it. Like we can still handle those things. That's why
and if we can't, we'll tell you.
We will tell you. Like we will let you know if we're at capacity. We will pass you off to the right type of person that can handle that person. I think.
And then you can decide if they're right or if you want to go with somebody else that was referred.
Totally.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing. I still don't have a time in my head for how much time you're going to take off. I have literally no idea.
Do you want to are you wanting to be no contact? This is just a question, if you were, say, working in corporate America and having this time off, like you would be able, I don't know, but I'd assume that like they shut off your stuff and
they do.
Exactly. They shut off your stuff and you can't be contacted or whatever. And so would you want to have that? Like, even if it was great, give me 2 weeks or 3 weeks of time where no one talks to me as best as possible.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Is that something you thought about?
That's like such an interesting one.
No contact is
I would love like less pressure because you get help.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what if like the baby's sleeping and I'm like, let me just do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just don't know.
No. Mm-hmm.
I don't know at this point. All I know is like, I want to keep doing business. I have a great team who can back me up.
Yep.
Please keep supporting me.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing a great job, let's talk about it because, hey, maybe I won't be. I don't know.
Totally.
I know my sister is super badass though, so
so
she'll be fine.
Yeah, you're like
covering and helping me.
Totally.
And we have the same voice, so sometimes if we don't tell people, we practice on our mom all the time.
Yeah,
people think we're the same.
Yeah, you're like, we can.
So helpful, right? People feel comfortable. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are you gonna do?
Oh gosh, I think the same. We have luckily Alan is like in a really good spot with his work and gets actual paid leave, which is huge.
Isn't that funny? He does and you don't.
Yeah, and he gets more. He gets 3.5 months.
Oh my gosh.
Which is more than most
so
moms.
Helpful.
It's so helpful. And I'm so excited for him. I'm like so excited for us to have that time.
Yeah.
And yeah, for him to have that time with the baby and like with me and us just like learning together.
Definitely.
But again, thinking about how our business works, I mean, right now I'm looking at my client list and I'm like, okay, a lot of my clients are going to be doing, either buying a house, selling their house come May, come June, and that's when baby's supposed to be here, which is...
What's your exact due date again?
June 28th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so, we're prepping everything now. We're getting everything set right now so that it can be as seamless as possible. But I'm the same where I'm like, okay, I know that there's going to be times where baby's going to be sleeping. I can step away from things. We can have,
especially if Al's home.
Exactly. And so it's like, I want to still be working during that time because if I'm able to, I never want to say no to business unless I feel good about saying no to business. Well, it's
daunting because then if you take a back seat, then you have to rebuild. Exactly. Because people too, they form relationships while you're gone.
Exactly.
I've had people in the past, too, like real estate agents who've said, hey, my person I usually use is on maternity leave, so I'm going to refer somebody to you. And then hindsight being 2020, I would have been like, no, send it to them because it's so scary.
Totally. That's such a, exactly. That's such a tough spot. Where
oh my gosh.
So you're like, then you have to fully rebuild and after everything that we've done for so many years.
And how do you have the energy? To rebuild. So moving to Canvas, I had to rebuild a ton of stuff websites, reviews. Google My Business is currently denying me. It's just a whole thing, right? Yeah. You don't solicit your clients. Yep. So it's like starting from scratch. It is so hard right now. I can't imagine with a baby. I can barely do it now. Yeah. So I don't know how people do it. Yeah. We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. But this is something where I would love for our community of realtors, of mortgage lenders, of business owners, of corporate moms, what did you do? I truly am what did you do? What were some of the best practices for you? Yeah. What were tricks of the trade or things that you were like, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I hired a nanny 2 days a week for 3 hours just so I could work. And then because those are the thoughts that I'm going through. I'm like, okay, can we do part-time daycare? And then those are my office days. Mm-hmm. Those are when Alan goes to the office, when he goes back or whatever. And those are my office days.
And are we going to be mentally okay to leave our baby?
I don't know.
With somebody? I don't know.
I don't know. Right. And so it's I want to know what other people are doing and what they've done, what they wish they would have done. And again, everything is a learning curve, but I'm just trying to put my best foot forwards because I know that there's going to be so much to learn that I'm like, I just would like to have some sort of direction.
What are the things we're telling ourselves that aren't true too? Yeah. That we can't take any time off. Yeah. I took 2 weeks for my wedding, so I should be able to take. So we should be able to take that equivalent for our baby. Yeah, but it's hard. It's because of the way society portrays it. Yeah, that makes it so hard. Yeah, because it becomes okay, that's great for you. I'm so happy for you. You're taking time off, and I'm going to replace you. Yeah, but part of that is probably a story that we're telling ourselves in our head because we're scared because we haven't been through it, so we don't have the confidence. Yeah.
And I think some of that too of the replacement of okay, I'm going to go find someone else, create a different relationship with someone else. I've been thinking about that more and more, especially, since our last podcast of talking about being super intentional about business, I'm being really intentional about who I want to take on with clients and who, the type of business I want to run. In this time too, there's always a point where you're like, oh, I'll take whatever. And definitely, but that is also, that can be a drain, right? Yeah. Specific clients that you might not mesh completely with, but that you can get the deal done because you there is you can always find a solution, right? I'm super solution oriented but it's actually, thinking about like time with the baby, time with Alan, like, which is honestly like my most important piece. It's like sustaining a really amazing marriage so that our baby can thrive within like that life. It's like, what is worth my time?
Whoever's doing it out there, like, great spouse, great parent, and successful, please DM us.
Please DM us and tell us what we need to do.
I would love all the opinions.
Yeah, no, totally. But I did, so going back to friend and client that is currently in the thick of it, she had mentioned the Colorado program.
Yes. Do you know how that works? FMLA?
Yeah. So she was talking about it. And that's why it got me just thinking about this. And I called. So pretty much as business owners, what we have to do is we have to pay into the system.
Okay.
It's a nominal fee. Like, I think it'll eventually probably be, I don't know, $1,200, $1,500.
Okay.
Over 3 years. So like, that's over 3 years, but you have to stay in it for 3 years. So you have to pay into it for 3 years.
Okay.
And then you get 12 weeks. So you get 12 weeks time of, again, like a portion of your paycheck.
Yeah.
And it caps out at a specific, like, they just have a cap of their own, like, I forget.
Why can't they just take the $1,500 out of that?
I don't know.
It's so funny, isn't it? I was always wondering how that worked. Keep going.
So she is doing it, and she's like, I already got paid on it, which is awesome. Again, it's compared to her, who knows what her pay situation is, owning her own business, of what she pays herself and all of that. But I think it's still money, like for
groceries,
for us. Yeah, exactly.
Formula,
grocery,
whatever,
and babysitter, whatever that is. And for us who do not have any sort of access to any of that, this is our access. So,
can you get paid commissions? Like if you had a client close, that's what I was wondering if they would negate that.
I know. I need to ask that because she currently, I think she's doing like part-time both. Like she went part-time and then she's still getting something. So I definitely need to ask that. Again, hers is a little bit different. Ours are, because again, if you have a closing, I don't know.
I know.
So I want to know that, because what if you have a couple of closings or something happen during that time? Like, does that exit out and you can't,
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I always get so scared because I'm like, what's the catch? It's kind of like COVID. Everyone's like, free money. And then we were screwed.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's good though. Like, I think that it's Colorado's way of, Colorado is doing so much for, I think, a lot of things. And so it's their way of really trying to support this, like,
that's awesome,
terrible situation that, like, our
and you know what too, I should just say this out loud, like, we're so blessed to be in the situations that we are, because like there are some single moms out there, they have no choice. It's like, you could have maternity leave. No, I can't take it. So
I know. I think about that all I really do think about that all the time, about like, people do have babies, have married, do whatever with a lot less than what we have in our world in any day. And so it's like, we can make anything work. Yeah. And so it's coming from a place of privilege, like of even talking about this, even being here, but it's also coming from, again, that place of, I don't know what I'm doing, and
humbled yet confused.
Yeah, exactly. But people do it, and it's the single moms out there. Like, I like fully tip my hat, and I'm like, it's such a tough spot to be in, but also being able to do whatever you can for yourself and for your baby is like the most important thing you can do. And so totally, and that is like, for yourself, for your baby, for your marriage, like, that is it. And so that's why, again, having these conversations, it's like, we are still doing that, even though, like, we still can't just like, oh yeah, we might be in a good spot, but we still need to remember that is the important piece.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's at least, it's crazy.
All opinions welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So on the next topic, kind of with like maternity leave and care and things. I'm curious because you mentioned like, how do you feel comfortable? How will I feel comfortable like leaving my baby with someone? And this is just another question. This is the same thing of similar to maternity leave, but different because it's longer term. Of what do you guys have plans for, like daycare wise, nanny wise? Like, are you like, again, do you have like a time frame for that? Are you wanting to do that right away? Are your parents helping? Like, what is that?
Great question. Well, I'm going to readjust myself. I feel like I have the worst posture right now because I'm just dragged down by my belly. Okay, so first off, my mom, she lives 6 minutes away. Very close. Pregnancy.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So she works from home. So she's like, I want to first grandbaby. Yeah. So she's like, I'll work from your house 2-3 days a week. We'll see how well that works out because babies still require so much attention. You know. But that's mega helpful. Totally. So I'll have her and then I can work from home. See, I'm in a better spot than you, no offense, because I can be behind my computer.
Yeah, I know.
Like I don't have to drive people around. It's very rare I meet up with somebody. Yeah. So I can be at home. I am leaning more towards nanny part-time. So maybe like 2 to 3 days, depending what my mom does. First off, daycare is so hard to get into. Yeah. It's so expensive. And, you know, a lot of people, if I offend somebody by saying this, I'm sorry, but I get scared from research of just like
sensory overload there.
Yeah. And the baby not being really taken care of as much. I haven't done enough research to be like, I can take my baby to daycare. So I'm leaning more right now towards a nanny, especially because I can be so flexible. I don't have to be like you, like leave for a certain amount of time. So in my ideal world, my nanny would be at home while I'm at home. So that's kind of my goal. Not for a while. You know, if I could get like, if my mom's there 2 to 3 days and I can get 2 to 3 days of like really good work, then
you feel good.
I'm good. But, you know, who knows? This could like completely change. And I mean, like you, I'm excited to hear about your daycare, what you think. I was in daycare. I have some other friends in daycare. I don't even know how people are getting into daycare. My friends are like on wait lists before they're pregnant. I'm like, okay, I missed the boat. So now I'm finding a nanny from Facebook. Like,
Which is great. Again, I think for like you doing your own research of like what you feel comfortable with is totally.
Honestly, though, Instagram reels, I gotta get off those.
But it's totally. But it is valid. It is valid. Of like, you have your own opinions towards things, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that someone else's choice is wrong. It's like, this is just what you feel comfortable with right now.
And that could be changed.
And
people can influence me.
You can evolve. But if you found the right place, you might just be like, that would be awesome. But right now it's not even the priority because you have like, again, you're in a spot where you have like a good situation of having help from your mom and your mom wanting to help. And then you, again, having that flexibility, which is like such a beautiful thing. So I don't think that you're in a bad spot. And if you can find a nanny that you like and like
nanny share with me, maybe.
I know. I am actually meeting with someone next week, a mom. For a nanny share, maybe.
Okay, well, so I'll let you know another mom.
I know. I will let you know.
Me in.
I will let you know.
But so I know you're doing you're looking at part-time daycare.
Yeah. So daycare is crazy. So
you have to close one extra home just to pay for daycare. I'm not joking.
I know. So this black hole of, I honestly, I've talked to so many people about like, maybe the business to get into is the black market daycare waitlist, because what happens now that I've done the spreadsheet that I have of every single daycare of costs, wait lists, deposits, what's their time frame, nowhere does infant, there's literally minimal people that do infant part-time. So like, you call someone, oh, we don't even do that. You have to be full-time. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to be full-time. Okay, but you still have to pay for it. Okay, great.
So then why wouldn't I just be full-time?
Yeah, exactly. Why would it? Yeah. So it's crazy. A friend of ours, she has, how old is it? She's like, I think 4. And she just got called off of a wait list when she went on as an infant. So that's where we're at in Denver. And if anyone wants to start a business
open a good daycare.
Even if they're good, it's like there's just so many babies and there's so many people and then people are on the wait list and then you just lose the money. You literally lose your deposit money.
And oh my gosh, like at Spire, I work with a lot of moms and they would have to go pick up their kid because they had a cough. It's like maybe water went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not sick. But then it's like you pay for it and then you still aren't working.
Half the days.
What's that? So, and then your kids are always sick, so then they can't go.
So we're looking into it because, again, it's just something that we want to have we want to have the option of if, like, when Alan goes back to work, he is hybrid, meaning that he, works from home half time and goes in the office. So maybe on those days that he's in office, like, we can send baby to a daycare, have a nanny for those days so that we both can work.
And just to be clear, nannies have the same problems because they can call in and be like, I'm sick. When I was a nanny, I'd be like, I'm sick. Now I'm like, I'm so sorry for doing that. Yeah. I wrecked your life. Like,
I ruined your day. So
right. Yeah. But I mean, it's literally the same thing. So it's a
catch-22.
Should we just put our baby in a backpack and be like, I'm here in my Zoom call?
And like have
baby.
Like a headphone.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah. But so we're thinking part-time. We are on a wait list for one. Currently
that's the one in Arvada.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm wanting to get on one or I guess I'm kind of on it. I don't really know. It's by our house.
You're like,
awesome.
Am I on it or am I not?
Really
this is like such a sidebar, but there's these Lifetime Fitnesses are apparently like amazing now. And they have like massive pools.
I'll go into that in a second because I've called them too.
Okay. Well, my sister, she's on the wait list. And my mom keeps telling me like, you have to join a country club so I can use the pool with your baby. I'm like, Mom, now's not the time for me to drop $75K. Yeah. And then never go because I just had a baby.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, Lifetime Fitness.
Yeah.
The one in Arvada, 17,000 people, I think, are on the wait list. My sister got called today. And I'm like, you put that under Nona's name.
Yeah.
That's my mom's grandma name.
Yeah.
Because she's taking the baby.
Yeah.
And you can be her guest. But I'm like, do not let that pass you by.
Yeah, totally. It's
so perfect.
Yeah.
And I think
they have, so.
Do they watch your baby while you work out?
Yeah, you only get 2 hours though.
Only?
2 hours
I would be like,
I know.
I'm going to go work out. Please watch my baby. And then go sit at a desk and work.
I know. So you get 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. My friend's, she is a member down in Colorado Springs, has 2 kids and loves it because again.
That one's like amazing.
It's so nice.
I've heard.
It's very nice. I've been her guest. Thank you, Lizzie.
Yeah, you're ruined.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. And I would do it. The one in Arvada, unfortunately, is like double the price of every other one.
It's like, so she was looking at it with 3 members, but then they like all have to be in the household, so I don't think that's going to work anyway. Yeah. But it was like $400.
Oh yeah, no. So it's for 2 adults and an infant, it's $420.
Okay. Nice.
And the one in Colorado Springs is like $270, and the one in Westminster is like $300.
2 free days a week.
Yeah. Of time, a little bit of time. No,
or 2 free hours a day.
I would love to do it, and it's something like I would love to have it as a pool. I would love to have the access. The pool. I know.
I'm like, I just need the pool. My sister's like, you can use my neighborhood pool. I'm like, last time I went to your neighborhood pool, I saw a child throw up, and people continue to swim in the throw up. I'm good. Like, I know my baby's gonna pee in the pool, but I don't want to be with other babies peeing in the pool. Yeah. It's going to happen at Lifetime. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So we're definitely looking at all things, but part-time daycare, as I said, I'm on all the Facebook groups. So I'm meeting with this mom that her baby's due at the same time as us.
Oh, perfect. When would you start that then?
I don't know.
TBD.
I think it depends. Like if someone was like, oh, we only want 2 days a week and start it early, like maybe we would do that.
So are you gonna then split the nanny? Like the nanny won't watch your babies at the same time. You'll like split the week.
No, but maybe not.
Honestly, it's kind of nice though, because then you get socialization. Mm-hmm. Does she live by you?
She's in the Highlands.
Oh, perfect.
So not far.
No.
We're 10 minutes away. So.
Well, if you need a third.
I know. Well, I'll let you know how it goes.
I can't believe you
can come if you
did this without me. I'm kind of offended. It's
fine.
I'll forgive you.
It's
fine.
I was going to talk about it because
that's huge.
Because we probably will want more people. And I don't know if any of this, it was more of just trying to learn what she's looking for. I know nothing about nannies. I just heard from a friend of mine that's going through the nanny share thing because they already have a baby. Like, you know, they're coming up with like, yeah, like they're like, oh, we're giving this amount of PTO. We're doing, and I'm like, oh crap. Like, so I have to like build someone else's business. Like,
so true.
Yeah, I know. And so
you probably can't just like Zelle the money.
I know.
Probably get in trouble if they're like really working for you.
I was an under the table nanny.
Me too.
Which was like so nice. Straight cash.
Yeah, it was.
And I would do that. Anyways.
Totally.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, this is being audited.
Yeah. But so I'll learn more. I'll let you know how that goes because obviously I knew that you were interested in it too. So I'm like, I just wanted to know if someone else had, because I didn't want to like spearhead.
I have opinions, but I try to like keep my opinions under control because I don't know. And that's what I like to tell people. Like, here's my opinion, but don't be offended because I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's an opinion. That is what an opinion is.
Right.
No one should be offended.
I'm just learning. Yeah. And here's what I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah.
I think we're coming up on our time too.
I know.
By the way.
Well.
Are there any other like important things?
No.
You want to talk about? We covered a lot of important things.
I think today was great. Today was a great day.
We still need a name.
We still do need a name.
Bobby's like, you should just have it be Working Moms. I'm like, so that we can get a cease and desist from a million people?
Yeah.
No. Can't do that.
Yeah, we do need
Definitely
a name.
can't take that on.
We want a name. We want a community that likes our content, that is following along.
And somebody who maybe would want to come on.
Yeah, I know. That would be fun. That would actually be really fun to have and someone either.
I think so too.
A mom or soon-to-be mom, whatever. Who cares? We would just like someone to be on. So if anyone has any information.
Working or non-working, because
totally.
When you're non-working, you're still working more than full-time because you're a mom.
Totally. Yeah, so we need a name that's going to be, we'll think about that more. And hopefully once we get these all posted.
Yeah.
We're rocking and rolling.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye. See you next time.